You see, Rishi Sunak claims that he's restoring integrity in politics, but whether it's on policing, political scandal, refugees or Brexit, he's just using Boris Johnson's old playbook. After a watchdog report revealed that the probation services failed to recall a convicted sexual predator to prison, leading to the murder of Zara Aleena, Rishi Sunak tried to point the finger at Labour.
If we do want to increase the safety of women and girls out on our streets, that we need tough sentencing. And that's why this government passed the Police Crime and Sentencing Act, which the honourable gentleman opposite and his party opposed.
That's a weird boast, given that you passed that law months before the killer was released, so it clearly didn't do enough to reform probation services, and yet somehow managed to give tougher jail sentences to statute breakers than some rapists. And his reaction to one of his ministers, Nadhim Zahawi, being fined for not paying his taxes is straight out of the Boris Johnson playbook. 1. Point out that the unlawful behaviour happened before you became Prime Minister.
Chris Pincher came into government as Deputy Chief Whip before I became Prime Minister.
The issues in question occurred before I was Prime Minister.
2. Say that nobody told you that the MP was dodgy before you hired them.
That the Prime Minister was not aware of any specific allegation or complaint made against the former Deputy Chief Whip, Chris Pincher.
No issues were raised with me.
3. If the public anger starts to get too much and you need to change strategy, just say that some new information has come to light.
And when I was given the information that he's read out about the complaint that was made against the honourable member, I acted immediately.
Since I commented on this matter last week, more information has come forward.
4. Kick the can down the road by launching an investigation and use that as a shield to say that nobody should be drawing conclusions yet.
It is now the subject of an independent investigation, and that is the right thing.
And that is why I have asked the independent advisor to look into the matter. Now, I obviously can't prejudge the outcome of that. I stand by my values and my principles even when it is difficult. When I disagreed fundamentally with the previous Prime Minister, I resigned.
But you supported Boris Johnson when he was unlawfully shutting Parliament, when he was telling MPs they had to support Brexit or risk getting murdered, when you were both breaking lockdown laws and lying about it. You only resigned when he got so unpopular that it gave you a shot at becoming Prime Minister. So noble. After an MP said that the way to stop people from drowning in the Channel is to provide safe ways for them to claim asylum here, he said,
we will introduce legislation that makes it clear that if you come here illegally, we will be able to detain you and swiftly remove you to a safe third country. That is the reasonable and common sense approach that the vast majority of the British public supports.
Only that's not true at all, because recent polling shows that only 10% of people support that option, compared to nearly 4 times as many who think we should make safe asylum routes.
The government's own statistics, which said that there are 200 asylum-seeking, unaccompanied children who are missing from hotels in the UK.
And that's why it's so important that we end the use of hotels for unaccompanied asylum seekers and reduce pressure on the overall system. That's what our plans will do.
What? Yeah, because children won't be able to disappear from hotels if there are no hotels for them to disappear from. Your move, Labour.
Surely the Prime Minister would agree with me, with the electorate and the experts, that Brexit has only served to exacerbate cost of living and economic challenging facing these islands.
Russia's illegal war in Ukraine and the impact it's had on energy supplies has nothing to do with Brexit.
Come here. He thinks you're stupid. And I mean literally, brain, physically on the floor, stupid, because we're talking about a 1 + 1 = 2 situation here. Because he was asked, don't you think that with the economic challenges caused by the war in Ukraine, adding Brexit only makes things worse? And his response was, but there's a war in Ukraine. Brain! 4!